Good morning, everyone. Let's get back into the Word. This morning's devotional, we're going to be looking at Luke chapter 17 again, continuing on from yesterday. So Luke chapter 17, we're going to be starting in verse 7, and it's a verse, some of us have verses that kind of connect with us because just the way we're wired, and this is one of those for me. So it says, suppose one of you has a servant. This is Luke 17, verse 7. Suppose one of you has a servant plowing or looking after the sheep. Will you say to the servant when he comes in from the field, come along now and sit down and eat? Won't he rather say, prepare my supper, get yourself ready and wait on me while I eat and drink, and after that you may eat and drink? Will he thank the servant because he did what he was told to do? So you also, when you have done everything that you were told to do, should say, we are unworthy servants, we have only done our duty. Now this is, again, we have verses that tend to speak to us because of the way we're wired. And I tend to be more, doing rather than being. And that can be good because I want to get things done for God. But I have to remember that God also just wants me to be his son, to be in his presence. And I want to, with those around me, I can be really focused on, hey, what have you done? Well, you only did what I asked you to do, yet you want praise. With my kids, and I got to remind myself, I've got to also make sure that they understand that they are loved just for who they are. We call this in relationship and in discipleship, invitation and challenge. Invitation being it's very welcoming, very inviting, very loving. And then challenge being the kind of people that always push you and always wanting to expect more from you. So each of us probably leans one way or the other. I lean more towards challenge. So I have to make sure that I come back and balance myself out with relationship and with love. My natural tendency is to go to challenge. Which one are you? You guys are, think about it, though. Some of you are like probably more when you deal with people, you want the relationship. You want to just be together. And some of you, you're constantly wanting to see people produce, to see people be challenged, to see people just do things and do something with their life or with their time. Well, Jesus balances both of those too, because he tells stories and parables that are focused on the love of the Father and being one with him. But then he also comes the other side and says, okay, but there's also the sense of doing. And he says, hey, if you've only done what you've been expected to do, you should say, I'm just a worthless servant. It's kind of harsh. And it challenges me because I read it and I think, God, am I doing more? Can I do more? Am I only doing what's expected? Now, as we move on from there, because that can be legalizing or can almost very enslaving to have that mentality to the extreme. So let's go on here and see what comes right after that. Verse 11. Now on his way to Jerusalem, Jesus traveled along the border between Samaria and Galilee. As he was going into a village, 10 men who had leprosy met him. They stood at a distance and called out in a loud voice, Jesus, Master, have pity on us. And when he saw them, he said, go, show yourselves to the priest. And as they went, they were cleansed. So these are lepers, 10 people in that day that had a disease that there was no cure for. One of them, when he saw he was healed, came back praising God in a loud voice. And he threw himself at Jesus' feet and thanked him. And he was a Samaritan. And Jesus asked, were not all 10 cleansed? Where are the other 9? Has no one returned to give praise to God except this foreigner? Then he said to him, rise, go, your faith has made you whole. Okay, so a couple of things here that I think relates to what Jesus just said, the first part that we read. He tells these guys come up, they ask him to cleanse them, to heal them, and he does. And he tells them, go and show yourself to the priest. Now, I think all 10 could have gone and shown themselves to the priest. We don't know if the other 9 actually went to the priest or not. But I believe all 9 could have gone to the priest, and that would have been doing exactly what had been expected of them, exactly what had been told. But this one goes beyond that. He comes back to Jesus and says, "Thank you." So you kind of see that, right? He tells all of them what to do, but one of them comes back and does more. And what is it that he's doing? He's being grateful and thankful. So even here, when Jesus says, once you've done everything you can do, again, my mentality is, what can I do for God? But have I done enough? I got to keep working. I got to do more. I got to do more. I got to do more. Well, what this person does is not is just, it's showing gratitude, uh, being thankful. So it kind of makes me think, okay, well, when God is the things God is wanting me to do, he's wanting you to do, is not always, preach a better sermon, or another sermon, or teach another Bible study, but it's love someone, it's be kind to someone, it's be grateful to God and show gratefulness to those that are around you. So think about that today. What are the things that God is putting on your heart? How has he wired you? And yes, we need to be doing, but we need to be being in his presence, being his sons and daughters, and going above and beyond whatever God has asked us to do. Just above and beyond. He honors that, not just for the sake of slavishly doing things, but for the sake of joyfully loving him and other people. So remember, tomorrow night we have a prayer time live, 7 p.m. So hope you guys join us and share that update that we'll be sharing on Facebook. God bless you. Remember to leave comments and likes if you can. Bye-bye.